But there's so many opportunities now. All right, let's jump into the main topic here, which is crowdfunding. It's kind of your specialty. It's what you've used to like build your companies and get more funding. We also have a link right here. If you guys see this green button, it's to their PopCom's crowdfunding campaign right now. So it is live as we speak.
Yes, you too.
You guys are almost approaching $250,000, which is awesome. And so I'd love to, let's start with maybe, because you've done different types of equity crowdfunding campaigns. I know you did one too for like the crypto space as well, right? You did secure token. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's awesome. I know like blockchain and crypto is, it's in my opinion, it's the future in one way or another. It's gonna maybe look a little bit different, but we can get into that a little bit. But let's go back to maybe your first crowdfunding campaign, or even this one. How do you go about starting a crowdfunding campaign? What are the things that you need for people interested in it? What are the things that people need to get started with a crowdfunding campaign? And what advice do you have for people who want to do one? Like, what should they do? What are the things that they need to have even before they start it?
Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to keep doing this because my throat is killing me. Okay, two things concurrently. Two things at the exact same time. Build your email list that I talked to you about. Hopefully by then you already have this list and you've already sent them an email. You've already told them what you're doing and they know you and they, they're on this email list. If not, start building it, for updates to people, not your investors, because you may not have any yet or not a lot, but just people that friends, peers. A lot of investors are on my email list that never invested in me, but I'm on their radar. So do that. At the same time, every step of the way of your business, from day one, create a due diligence data room. Always have a data room available and updated. If you don't know what that is, please Google it and look at what should be in a due diligence data room. That is every document, every contract, every bank statement, every P&L balance sheet, everything you do, every employment agreement, intellectual property assignment agreement, all your business formation documents. I have one in Dropbox, Google Drive. I have like 4 different data rooms, like literally on different platforms to keep all this stuff backed up because they're going to do extensive due diligence on you. Anybody cannot just crowdfund. They do extensive due diligence because keep in mind, you're raising money from the public. There is an idea, and I say idea because I don't think it's particularly true, but it is in some cases. But there's an idea that if you're not accredited, meaning you don't have $1 million net worth or you don't make $200,000 as a year, $400,000, $300,000 as a couple, you're not really sophisticated financially, and you can't make educated decisions about investing. This is what the SEC assumes about non-accredited investors. And so they have to protect people from predatory companies who try to raise money on lies or, because people can be gullible. Some people, you see them online, they have a lot of following online and they ain't about nothing. They're an influencer. They don't got nothing going on, but a lot of people follow them and they're BS. So when you're taking somebody's money, they have to make sure that everything you say out your mouth is true. And so if you have your due diligence data room ready, that's the first thing they're going to want to see. You apply, you do your, you vet the platforms. There's platforms, I use Start Engine, but there's WeFunder, there's Seed Invest, there's Republic. There's multiple equity crowdfunding platforms that you can use. So pick the one that's right for you. I picked Start Engine last time, and I'm doing another round soon, and I'm picking them again because I have a great relationship with the team, and I just like working with them. But pick the platform that aligns best with you. But you have to do that. You have to apply. It costs money to apply. Also, you have to have your financials. So even now, even when one day you're going to fundraise, have all of your financials in GAAP format. That's General Accepted Accounting Principles, GAAP, GAAP format. If you don't have them in GAAP format, they're going to make you redo them all. I spent thousands of dollars reformatting my financials, at least $30,000, reformatting years of financials to be GAAP compliant. It was a horrible experience. So in the beginning, if you're going to raise money, have your financials in GAAP format. You have to have a financial review. So if you do a Reg CF, which is up to $1,070,000 a year campaign, they're about to raise it to $5 million coming up soon, but right now it's $1,070,000. You have to have a financial review by an independent CPA. If you do a Reg A plus, you have to have an audit. An audit is hell. But if you have all of your materials together, it's a little bit better. But a financial review has to be done by an independent agency, and it's not cheap. So, you know, I want to help you be optimistic, but I also want to be realistic that if you go take money from the public, you have to have your stuff together. It's not a game. You're selling securities, and the SEC does not take that lightly in any way. So you have to make sure that the valuation that you give your company can be supported. You have all your documents together, and you know they're going to ask for that, and they're going to send you through an extensive process for approval. My first crowdfunding campaign took me 6 months to get approved. In the meantime of waiting to get approved, we ran out of money all the way. The reason I did a crowdfunding campaign was because I had already raised $1 million VC. We ran out of money. We're running out of money. We're towards the last 3 months of the runway, and my investors weren't going to follow on. They were like, well, you didn't reach your milestones. We had to pivot. You know, we're not going to invest. And so I'm like, you know, I'm going to do an ICO, which is initial coin offering. This is back in 2017 when ICO were booming. But then right when I was going to do it, the SEC said it was illegal to do an ICO in the United States. And I already had institutional investors on my cap table, and they weren't going to agree with it. And so that's why I did a secure token offering under the Jobs Act, under Reg CF. But, you know, the token came from just the desire to allow people to be able to get liquidity by trading their tokens on a secondary ATS exchange, which, by the way, a year later, SEC has not even approved that yet. So just be aware of the laws are constantly changing, and stay on top of the laws and the regulation at all times. But I would say, like you said, the first two things, I went a little long-winded, but build your email list and get all of your documents organized.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, we're actually looking into it right now for us, also, because I think for a lot of businesses, it's actually a fantastic way to get your user base as like part of your investors, and you know, really give them ownership into what you're building. I think even if you're not doing a crowdfunding campaign, I think it's just important for people to. I don't think necessarily, unless you're raising money and whatnot, having like years down the line financial projections like super.
3 years is enough.
Yeah, exactly. But like being able to just understand that and show that and staying on top of your finances is just important anyway. And I love this idea of the due diligence data room. Like we have like a folder. Yeah, I think we might even. Now that you mentioned this, there's some folders that I might even just combine together just so we have everything kind of in one place. I think that's a fantastic idea. And yeah, if you're doing a crowdfunding campaign, you better have your stuff in order, because you are subject to the SEC. Like
yes.
they could come after you if they find anything that's fishy. So I think that's huge.